wait for the water to flow into the Kangen machine, because somewhere, like I'm staying in Jurong East, the water is seemingly very powerful. And then somewhere, maybe a higher floor, the water flow may be not so strong. So what will be the appropriate, how do you feel about it?
Okay,
Thank you.
I don't have the exact number. If you look at the brochures that's provided inside your Kangen water machine, it comes with the technical specification of the water pressure. Okay, I cannot remember the number right now. It's probably 0.5 to 0.45 kilopascal or something like that. You just check it out from the brochure itself. Okay, so as long as your water pressure is within that range, it would be able to actually produce the good quality Kangen water. And also, I think based on his question, I'd like to also tell you a little bit more about this. Okay, some of you, I think, probably also have this kind of problem before. Okay, what's the problem? Because I think your friend might have already told you that the filter, the Kangen water machine filter actually supposed to last for 6,000 liters, right? 6,000 liters of drinking water, or 12,000 liters overall for water flowing through, right? Did some of you experience this before, that, oh, somehow, based on your own calculation, then you find that, hey, how come the message for you to replace the filter come out a little bit sooner than you expect it to be? Have you got that experience before? Do you have that experience? I think most likely it is due to your water pressure too strong. Okay, let us understand a little bit behind how the machine calculates the water flow. How does the machine know that 6,000 liters? It doesn't have a bucket inside there to actually measure the water passing through, right? How does it know that 6,000 liter Kangen water has already produced? Actually, it uses a method of estimation. From what I understand, the water coming in is actually inside there. It looks, there is something like a fan. When the water coming in is actually coming at a certain rate, it causes the fan to actually rotate. So if under the normal water pressure, this fan will actually rotate correctly with the correct speed, and the estimate will be fairly accurate, 6,000 liters of drinking water. However, if your water coming in is super strong, it causes this fan here to actually rotate at a much higher speed. So therefore, it reaches a number now at a much faster pace. Okay, so that causes some of the problems. I think some of the some of the issues that you may have experienced. So therefore, if you do experience that, ask your plumber to adjust the water flow rate under the sink, and I think it will be better for you. Okay? Yes.
Okay, next.
Yeah, Mr. Tan.
Yes.
Thanks for all your sharing. It's very informative. I have one question is that regarding the properties of this Kangen water. Is that perhaps as estimate how long will these properties of this Kangen water will be able to retain in a container? That's first question. Second question is that is there a difference between, let's say, a 7 plates and a 3 plates in terms of retentions of property? And the third question is that if we boil the water, is there any changes in the property? Thank you.
Okay, let's look at the question. So the question is actually targeting at whether the retention of the property. When we talk about retention of the property, we are really talking about the ORP. Okay, the ORP, the oxidation reduction potential. The one that I mentioned, the production of the hydrogen gas. It's a hydrogen gas and the complicated reaction that's responsible for the antioxidant property of the Kangen water itself. So hydrogen gas, of course, it is the lightest gas on earth. Okay, it actually escapes very, very rapidly as well. So therefore, if you actually listen to the DVD, it talked about this. Okay, what are the 3 factors that actually causes the property of the water to actually to vary One of them is actually the time. Okay, the longer the duration, the lower the reading will be. So if you take a measurement of your freshly prepared Kangen water, for example, it may show you minus 450 millivolts. If you just leave the water there, okay, tomorrow morning, take another measurement again. Again, the water will actually show a lower reading. Continue in that way. You will eventually become positive water, just like the other water. So the ORP of the water does actually fall, okay, when time elapses. That's the first thing. Okay, how long does it actually retain? It really depends on a few conditions. The surrounding temperature. Okay, so if you actually put this water into a refrigerator, of course, lower temperature, you will actually store a little bit longer. If you put it into a very tight container, you will also be stored at a little bit longer. And lastly, also the quality of the water itself, the ions itself. I mean the ionizers, the ions, the ionized water itself, the source water. I personally has found that in Jakarta, okay, where the hardness of water is higher, the ORP can be retained better than in Singapore water. Okay, somehow. Okay, exact reason, chemistry behind, I have not actually investigated, but that is what my observation is. Okay, so the heat, certainly you want to keep away from the heat source. Light example also, and of course any movement. So if you are actually bringing water, okay, in a car, for example, okay, any movement, you will actually cause the this water, I mean the hydrogen gas to escape. You will reduce it. Okay, so those are the few factors. Okay, does it answer your question? What's the second question again? Boiling, yes. So boiling is also the same thing. Okay, boiling. So coming back again just now, the ORP will drop, but the alkalinity of the water will remain approximately the same. Approximately the same. In other words, after 3 days, if you measure the alkalinity of the Kangen water, it will still approximately be the same as the initial one. Approximately, and the third question you asked?
Between 7 plate and 3 plates.
Oh, 7 plate and 3 plates and 5 plates. Okay. Of course, early on we mentioned that the rate of the reaction depends on the total surface area of the electrodes, of the plates. So in the case of our energetic machine, of course, we use the same plates. Okay, in the JR version, we use 3. In the DX version, where it is not sold here, we use 5. And of course, in the SD501, we use 7. So based on that, you can see that certainly the water in the 7 plate will be better as compared to the 3 plate. And probably you will also want to actually see that the stability of the water as well is better. Okay, if you have 2 machines, okay, one 3 plate and one 7 plates, and then you take the measurement, and then you actually try to retake the reading again every 2 hours or so. You'll probably find that the one with the 3 plates is actually getting the loss of the ORP will be steeper as compared to the 7 plate, more stable for the bigger surface area because electrolysis is actually better over there.
What about the microcluster property?
The microcluster property in this case here again may or may not be significantly changed. May or may not be significant change again. Again, once it may change. It may change. Okay. The microcluster property is due to the formation of the hydrogen ions, as I mentioned earlier on. Okay. If you actually take the freshly prepared Kangen water and you go and measure, undergo a spectroscopy, you will find that the frequency is actually probably at a frequency of around 60 hertz. Well, your tap water, it is at a frequency of approximately 120 hertz. Very different. But of course, again, if you allow the Kangen water to slowly go back to the original, I think, although I've not done the experiment, slowly it will actually migrate towards the normal water. Okay, and loses it. Because the energy, what causes the microclustering is actually, the hydrogen bond. The hydrogen bond is actually broken through the use of the the electricity. Yes.
Excuse me, can it remove fluoride from water?
No. Fluoride unfortunately cannot be actually removed through the Kangen water machine. You do need to remove the fluoride. You probably have to actually purchase additional fluoride filters.
Where do we get these fluoride filters?
I think if you go to Google, you should be able to find look for actually fluoride filters. I think in this part of the world, I don't see any people selling. But I think in Europe, where they are more aware of the fluoride, problem, then actually they do sell. You can.
Thank you.
The next question. This lady here.
Hi, Mr. Tan. I think a lot of us have heard about Kangen Water or using Kangen Water. And we're told that, compared to other water, the first question that people will raise is, hey, how do I maintain this? When do I need to change the filter and things like that? Now, I think this is very technical if you're trying to explain to other people, but at the same time, you want to be sure that they are maintaining it correctly, then just only buying it for use. So how do we go about explaining about the maintenance of this?
Okay, as I explained earlier on, I think there isn't much maintenance in the machine really. The only maintenance is the e-cleaning that actually we need to actually implement. Of course, that seems to make a little bit inconvenient for some of us. But I think if we think of the positive effect of the e-cleaning, making the machine like a new machine again, every time we actually do a little bit of the e-cleaning, I think that is easy. So normally for myself, for my clients, for example, I always make sure that I go and actually teach them how to do one maintenance. The first maintenance, we teach them how to do it properly, okay, so that they will know the importance of this process. Okay, once they know how to maintain one time, okay, subsequently just schedule them regularly, a month. Okay, for some people I actually tell them do it once a month. Okay, if you say at the beginning of the month, just do it every beginning of the month. You remember. Okay, you just need to actually do it once, and the machine will be as new as it was actually first purchased. Okay, and that actually make our Kangen machine actually stand out from all the other machines. The other machines, you are sure that the quality of the ionized water will deteriorate over time. Okay, in some cases, couple of months. In some cases, 1 or 2 years. Okay, if you actually have read this research actually done by some researchers in Japan. Some, of course, in some cases, after 1 year, okay, the ORP already become quite positive. Okay, so do remember that e-cleaning is very important, and you need to actually explain that to our new clients. Do it regularly to make sure that the machine actually is always like new. So when we tell our clients that the machine can be actually good for 10 years, can be good for 15 years, okay, the machine can only do so if we stick to this schedule of continue to actually strip off the calcium that is deposited on the plates itself. Okay, as long as you can do that, I think it is sure. My machine is more than 3 years old and it still produces tip-top quality Kangen water. Okay, yes. Well, on the water container itself, of course, different people have different opinions. Okay, I can tell you my opinions, but I think other people may have other kind of opinions. As long as let's say for example, I think many of us use plastic containers. I think, yeah, plastic containers, but make sure that the plastic containers is at least food grade plastic, not any other plastic. Okay, so that is one. Okay, better still, If you can use a BPA-free plastic, it will even be better. BPA-free, okay? Biophenol A-free, yeah? That is actually better for us. For myself, I use stainless steel. I use stainless steel containers. Because stainless steel containers are actually, tighter. Okay, in terms of the service, it can retain the ORP better. Yeah.
What's your opinion of machines that do not non-electrolysis machines that claim to be able to produce alkaline water? For example, a brand like AOX, they are quite popular. Yeah, how do they achieve the alkalinity state? Can you explain things?
Okay, I think a lot of other machines, claim that they can produce antioxidant, alkaline, and so on and so forth. Okay, alkaline maybe, but the alkalinity. Earlier on, I mentioned to you that, for example, in the case of United States, where they use RO machines, at the end of the RO process, no minerals inside there. So what happened is that they put another filter, mineralized, adding the minerals into the water. That will actually cause the water to contain minerals. So if we actually base on that principle now, so instead of actually the RO water, your normal tap water now, which has a pH of let's say 7.0 now, okay, also passes through this filter that add minerals inside there. They call mineral filter, okay. There are quite a number in the market. So what happens is that the water that passes through this filter does contain a little bit more of the minerals. Okay, the amount depends on these mineral filters. Probably from 7.0 that increases the pH to around 7.5. Hardly in any case I see the pH actually increase to 8. Hardly. Yeah, so that is on that. Whereas on the other factor of ORP, okay, ORP wise, I think if you just use a filter without any other technology, you can verify it as well that I don't think they will be able to produce negative ORP. Although they say so, but they cannot prove to you it is negative ORP. They are unable to do that.
But the day we checked the AOX water, we tested, the ORP is a negative 700 plus. The pH is quite high and got microcluster.
I don't know what's the technology behind.
Yeah.
There are a few other technologies behind, I think, the production of water itself. And of course, I think, I don't know, I cannot comment on that because I don't know what is the technology behind. Whether it's actually, it certainly is not just using filters, but they may have another way of actually ionizing the water. Earlier on, I think we talked about ionization is the breakdown of the water molecule to form ions, right? The breaking down of the water molecules to form ion. This breaking down, this ionization process, in our Kangen water machine, we use electricity. So electricity is the energy we input into the water. It actually ionizes the water. So there are other forms of energy available that you can put to the water to cause it to ionize as well. Okay? For example, magnetic energy is also possible. Okay? Probably some of you have used magnetic any kind of water before. Okay? But again, different technology. Yeah, so I can't comment on that one.
Okay, next question from Manipuri around it. It comes to the microphone here.
May I check? You did mention that the strong Kangen water has this slimy effect, and then if you touch it every day, your skin will be lighter, your pimple will disappear. I mean, your fingerprint, right? What if we spray on we come in contact with, we spray on our face or touches our eyes? Does it? How does it affect us? And then the strong acidic water, I have heard a lot of testimony on it is very good for sore when you fall, eczema. It spray helps to heal. I mean, it kills the bacteria. Strong acid water, will it thin our skin? properly and keep spraying with thin our skin. And of course for us ladies, the strong acid water is very, it acts as a bleach. If I use it to spray on my face to clear my pigmentation, how will it affect my face, my skin
Need a beautician to actually answer that question. Okay, I'll try to answer that question. Okay, on the property of the strong Kangen water first. Just want to let you know that, the ladies, that our Energic machine is used in many beauty salons, right? In many beauty salons. And of course, how do they use this? And this is how some of the people actually use it. When the beautician work on the facial for the ladies, okay? Of course, ladies put on makeup. And some of this makeup are oil-based, right? Are oil-based. So the first thing they actually use is actually the strong Kangen water, which can help you to remove actually part of this oil-based makeup first. And of course, for it is very good in terms of, let's say, for example, what do you call that? A layer of dead skin. What do you call that? Sorry? Oh, I don't know the term. Yeah, the dead skin on your skin. Okay, so the beautician will also use this strong Kangen water. A small amount of it actually will help to actually remove that. It is very good. Okay, so certainly it is able to be used on the skin. With eye, it doesn't actually do any harm to it. Okay, I don't think it will actually do any harm. In fact, I think some people have been actually using the strong Kangen water or a mixture of strong Kangen together with Kangen water as the eye drops itself, because the Kangen water it contains a lot of free radical. It contains a lot of antioxidants. And the antioxidants are really good for the eyes. People suffering from actually, for example, cataract. Okay, basically cataract is formation is oxidized by the free radicals. Okay, and in fact, many people actually have been using that. You use a very slow stream of Kangen water, 9.5, and then drop into your eyes, and some people mix it with even strong Kangen water. Okay, but yeah, if you in doubt, use Kangen water will be sufficiently good already. Okay, as to the strong acidic water. Okay, strong acidic water, the therapeutic property, the antiseptic property is really due to the HOCl, as I mentioned in my chart earlier on. Okay, so strong Kangen water kills the bacteria based on that particular property there. Okay, it will not cause any other effects on the thinning effect. No, you won't thin. And in fact, I think if you look at the research done by the Ministry of Health in Japan, strong acidic water has a few properties there. Okay, they recommend strong acidic water for at least 3 properties. One of which is actually as a food additives. The other one is actually in terms of even sanitizing the surgery equipment for the colonoscopy in Japan. Yeah. Does it answer your question?
Okay, next. Sorry. We have the mic.
Hi, Mr. Tan, I'd like to check, is there any disadvantages of drinking 9.5 for long? Is there any disadvantages?
Okay, so let us analyze that question, I think, from different angles. Of course, if we look at the body conditions of each and every one of us, okay, let's say, for example, if we're talking, I presume you are talking about adults, adults, 9.5. You look at actually, you can recall back the earlier chart on the HOCl. The HOCl, if you carefully look at the chart there, at a pH of 9.0 to 9.5, in fact, according to the researchers, that is actually the best form of water for our body. Long-term consumption, according to the research, actually does not actually produce any any harmful effect. One of the mystery, okay, about this Kangen water is that some people always worried about the stomach acid, right? He said the stomach acid is actually of pH around 2. Okay, after drinking this Kangen water inside there, somehow you will dilute. Somehow, some people say claim dilute the stomach acid, and therefore will actually cause you affect negatively the digestion of the food. But I think if you drink Kangen water otherwise, you actually find the opposite. In fact, according to the Japanese research, okay, given a person, okay, they have actually carried extensive research on this. If given the stomach acid to be the pH of 2.0, at most the Kangen water 9.5, it can actually reduce is between 0.2 to 0.85. In other words, the stomach acid of many people who drink Kangen water, okay, the stomach acid pH can at most go to 2.2, from 2.0 to 2.2, or at most 2.85. So the effect of the Kangen water affecting the acid in the stomach is actually negligible. Why is it so? Still, I think the scientific, nobody have actually put up a theory to explain this observation, but it is a fact, have been verified experimentally by many researchers in Japan, where they have the institute of this ionized water in Japan.
Thank you, Mr. Tan. Thank you.
Now, any more questions from over there?
Okay, question. The solid that got stuck on the bottle, will it form or consolidate stones in our body? Okay, long term, what will happen? Okay, when is a good time to drink Kangen water? Okay. Now, I think those of you who actually bring your Kangen water out to your office, to your workplace to drink, over a period of time, I'm sure, if it is a plastic bottle, you will see that there will be a layer, a faint layer actually formed in the inner surface of your bottle. Okay, that formation, again, as I mentioned earlier on, is the deposit of calcium. Okay, so if you actually take that into account, remember to clean your plates as well. Remember, your plates also experience that. Every day they will be added to it. So do remember to clean your plate. Okay, so that excess of the calcium is actually now deposited on the inner surface of the bottle here. Okay, will it form or consolidate stones in our body? Again, I don't know the answer, but I've read many different books. Okay, it is not. Some books says it is not the calcium that caused the kidney stones. Some researchers say it is the absence of magnesium in your diet that causes the kidney stones. Okay, so personally, I don't think it is so. Okay, but I think again, different researchers seem to have actually a different opinion. But personally, I don't think it is the calcium that actually cause the kidney stones. Long term way, what will happen? I think, of course, if you are using a plastic bottle, if you are worried about that, then you just how to remove that. Very easy. Use your strong acidic water. Just soak it inside there overnight. You can see a bottle again, like a new bottle. If you are using a stainless steel bottle, then I don't advise you to use strong acidic water and soak it overnight because the steel will react with your acid, with your strong acidic water. And of course, stainless steel, you know that it contains iron, it contains what else? It contains other minerals as well, such as chromium. And chromium, too much of the chromium is not good for us, so you wouldn't want it to leak. So if you are using stainless steel bottle, please make sure that don't put any acidic water inside there. It's not good. Okay, only strictly for Kangen water. That will be sufficient. That will be good for you. When is a good time to drink Kangen water? I think all of you have the answer. Okay, those of you who are using Kangen water, you have the answer. Of course, when your stomach, when your alimentary canal is actually empty. Okay, the first thing is you wake up in the morning, drink plentiful of Kangen water, 500 cc, to actually eliminate the any toxins that actually have been actually done so I think the night before, so get it out. And then don't, after drinking your Kangen water, don't immediately go for your meals. Okay, why is it so? Allow half an hour or so. Okay, allow your alimentary canal to absorb all this, activate up. Okay, once it absorbs the goodness of Kangen water, they start become active, and half an hour later, wow, all these are already activated.